What's up, guys? Bella here. Welcome to my channel. This video is to basically answer the question you guys are always wanting to know. For those of you who don't know, how did I meet Grizz? Pretty much, I do videos on YouTube if you haven't ever watched anything from me, and every Wednesday I put out something called Ask Bella. People can send in questions and then I'll answer them. And it doesn't matter what Wednesday it's on, I always get the same question: how did you meet Grizz? And I don't like answering the same question over and over and over, so instead of answering it every single Wednesday, I'm going to make a video here just called Grizz Meets Bella. So this is basically our story. Back a couple of years ago, 2.5 years ago or so, he had made a video about some random things. He had just bought a little chihuahua and he posted up a video wondering, names, if anybody had any suggestions for names. And I used to have a couple of chihuahuas, and I just left a little funny comment about chihuahuas in general and just giving suggestions on names, and my witty humor must have gotten to him because he actually responded to me. And when he responded to me via YouTube, we basically just were messaging back and forth for a few days, just talking to each other. Then we ended up actually talking, and we realized that our birthdays were on the same day and everything else. And he's like, well, now that I know our birthdays are on the same day, I just basically cannot not add you. So he wanted to know what my gamer tag was so that he could add me on Xbox, and we add each other and started playing together. And over the course of the years, we just became really close, really good friends, and I always considered him my best friend. And we would talk to each other about all sorts of things, relationship problems, as I was in a relationship, and he had been in a relationship very similar to the one I had used to be in. And we would just kind of vent about shit we, wanted to talk about. And we were always there for each other, just always talking to each other, always there to listen or whatever. And our relationship at that time was just friendship. We stayed friends. We stayed friends for almost 2.5 years. And then there at the end of the 2.5 years, he was living in Indiana, those of you may know, and he was just basically sick of living there, and he was ready for like a change of pace, a change of scenery, I guess. And we would always go to each other about anything. We would always talk about everything and anything with each other. So obviously he was telling me about it, and I just was like, yeah, well, don't forget about Colorado, because he was talking about going down to Georgia or somewhere, and I was just like, ugh, it's hot and humid and all by the ocean. He's all about the ocean and stuff like that. And I was like, don't forget about Colorado. It's really pretty, and there's mountains and blah, 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 blah. And so he was like, yeah, whatever, And then a couple of days later, he messaged me back, and he was like, hey, were you actually, serious about me moving to Colorado? And I was like, well, sure, why not? I mean, it's awesome here. And he was like, well, would you like it if I moved there? And I was like, fuck, that'd be awesome. Because at the time, when I was living in Canyon, I didn't really have any friends in real life there. It was a strange place, hard to make friends. I was never really in a place where I had trouble making friends until I moved there. Lots of crackheads and shit, so it's not really my forte. But, so yeah, I was really psyched about him moving, and so he was like, yeah, well then I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna move there, and I'll just find me a place. And I was like, all right. So then, literally, 4 or 5 days later, he packed his shit and was on his way. So then he got up to Colorado, up to Canyon. And he was originally going to rent a place, and I had a smaller place that I lived in. We weren't boyfriend and girlfriend or anything, so it would have been awkward if he came and stayed with me, so he got a hotel room while he was looking for a place. And basically, he found a place, and he put in his application for it and all that shit. And then when they did the security background check thing, it came back really bad, and I was like, uh-oh. What did you do? And then we ended up finding out that there was another guy named Mike Graves, and apparently he's a bad person. And Mike started having to go through all this stuff to get his name cleared up to prove that that was not, in fact, him. Because Mike doesn't have a criminal history background. He's never been in any trouble, nor have I. So he knew that it wasn't anything that he had done. Probably the worst thing he's ever gotten was a speeding ticket, if that. So he had to put in his social security number and all this bullshit. And I guess they cleared it up eventually. But then by then he was sick of already paying all the hotel rooms, and I had been going with him like every day to go help him find a place and stuff like that. And it was just such a big pain in the ass, and we were waiting for the background check to get proven that it wasn't him, and just all this shit and all the money he was spending. And I was like, my lease is coming up soon. My grandparents are old, and they just, I don't want to stay at this house anyways. I was going to get a better place because my son's going to be, here and everything. So why don't we just like roommate, and then you can split the rent with me. It'll be cheaper for me, cheaper for you. We can get a place. I'll put it under my name or whatever, so we don't have to worry about the background check. So that's what we ended up deciding to do. We decided to just go ahead and be roommates, which is not out of the ordinary whenever it's your best friend you're talking about. Somebody that I feel totally comfortable with, that I've been friends with forever. And, he's obviously an awesome person, and I was, more than happy because I felt like it was helping both of us out in our situations. So we got an awesome house, and then we lived there for a while. And then right before Thanksgiving, I had been in a relationship with somebody else for a while, and then we ended up splitting up. And Mike wanted to take me out on a date, so I was like, all right, cool. So we went out on a date. We started dating a little bit. We found out that we actually really liked each other. There was like a spark there, and we kissed, and it became romantic. And yeah, I then became his girlfriend, and so then I don't know, things just drastically changed. It became like more of like a family. Even though we're not married, I could definitely see that could be in the future. We're not engaged or anything like that yet, but we love each other, and we're happy together. We make each other happy, and most of all, he's still my best friend. So after that, we decided to go ahead and move to Texas together, and we're going to be buying a house together, and it looks like it's going to be kind of a permanent thing in my life. So just really happy to have met him and known him and been friends with him. He's been there for me a lot when other people haven't been. And he's been great with my kids. He's been great with everybody. And just so everybody knows, I adopted my kids. They are biologically my niece and nephew. Because my sister, I don't really like talking about that publicly, but we'll just say that there was some complications, and she couldn't raise them, so I took them. So they're my niece and nephew, but they're my children. I've had Alana since the day she was born, and I've had Austin since he was 4 months old. So yeah, those are my kids, and Mike is he's great with them. We go out as a family, we do things as a family, we eat as a family, we play, we have fun, it's fun. It's awesome. I'm really happy. I know he's really happy. And I'm really grateful that he's in my life. And I don't look at him like zzirGrizz like a lot of you do. I never did. I was never a big fangirl or anything like that. I was always we were just good friends, and that's just how I looked at it. And so when people freak out and they're like, oh my god, it's zzirGrizz, like, I don't know, it's Mike to me. Goofy Mike. So that is how we met, and that is where we are today. And if we end up getting engaged or anything like that, or get married or whatever, I'm sure that we will keep you guys posted and let you know. So I hope everybody's happy, and they don't have to ask me the question anymore about how did I meet Grizz. I met him through YouTube, and now we are happily together in real life. So yeah. If you guys haven't subscribed to me already, please do so, and also follow me at zzirBella so you can keep up with what's going on in my world, and I'll try to keep you up to date with what's going on in the gaming community. And so that's pretty much going to wrap it up, and I will see you guys later. Have a good one. I'm out. Peace.
Good job, squad. Stand by for further orders.